You ready to take control of your future? All in CDO Training is more than just a driving school. We're your partner in achieving financial independence. Overcoming test anxiety? Struggling with self-doubt? We're here to help. Our expert instructors provide personalized support to guide you through the entire process. With flexible hours and online courses, we'll get you behind the wheel in as little as 3 months. It's time to turn your passion into a rewarding career. All in CDO Training, the future of commercial driving.
Dominate every matchup, period. This should be the mindset of every competitor in both team and individual sports and in life. Each day we wake up, regardless of the task, regardless of what we're facing, we gotta decide whether we're gonna dominate or be dominated, period. There is no in between. We believe whoever wears our gear embodies that DEM mindset. Dominate every matchup, period. The question is, which side will you be on?
Nation Boxing Gym in Santa Fe Springs, California offers training for pros, amateurs, and weekend warriors. Ran by current WBC boxer Brandon "Cannon" Adams and pro trainer, the People's Coach, Coach Cam Manalo. They offer adult and kids training and classes for all ages. Cannon Nation Boxing is in the corner for anyone who wants to learn the sweet science of boxing as a career or personal goals. Go to cannonnationboxing.com for more info.
He ain't never slumber, never put him to the test. He be reigning king forever, resurrected after death. All praise to God, brother, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, all praise to the one.
Yes, sir.
All right. Looks like we're working. All systems are go. The 7th day of this brand new year, 2025. In the year of the Jetsons. Live and direct from the OG cockpit. I'm AC. This is AC Sports Live. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification button. If you're on Facebook, hit the hearts, likes, comment. You're in Indeed. Feel free to like, share, comment. We're on Twitch. Go ahead and follow and comment. A lot on tap, but we'll still get out of here in 1 hour or less. That's the goal. Never happens that way, but try my best to stay close to the script. NFL, the playoffs are here. We'll see the wild card predictions. Some firings going on. The Pats have fired Gerard Mayo. The Raiders got rid of AP. And I have my way too early draft predictions. And NCAA football. The Final Four is set. Who you got? Which transitions right into Tender Love. If you read the comments on the 2 black coaches paying respect to being one of the 2 first to win a national championship, to even coach in a national championship, the comments, the people were triggered. So they made my Tender Love report. And also I have a clip where a tackle was as routine as they come, but it still warranted to flag me. Pull that into the Tender Love report. My 2 cents, a few things going on. Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor are named in a lawsuit for inappropriate interactions, activity. Talk about that real quick. Another young lady in girls high school hoops with the quintuple double. There's a highlight tape around town with Draymond Green, and it's diabolical. I don't know if Draymond Green gets in the Hall of Fame with how bad this video is. I'm going to be glad to share that because I don't think Draymond Green's a Hall of Famer, even though he is going to be a Hall of Famer because of his success with the Golden State Warriors, but I don't think he would be in the league if he weren't on the Golden State Warriors. And my sports flicks, we just watched the Giannis Marvelous Journey doc. It was pretty good. And that's going to be almost the show. I have a proposition for you. Do we stay with the unks or do we go with the aunties? Is it going to be the year of the auntie? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. Let's see what we got here. Jumping right in. OG John Branch is in the building. Ohio State all the way. That's a good pick. They beat Oregon pretty handily. AC2 is in the building. 3 strongman arms up. Strength and power. What was they saying in Gladiator, the movie? Strength and honor. The Queenie Lane is in here from Waco, Texas. Hello, howdy, and from the heart of Texas. D-Mac 5 is in here. You know, the E is in the building. All right, so the NFL playoffs wild card. So, of course, being the Bird fan that I am always going to be biased, but just looking at the matchups for Saturday's games, first thing in the morning, Broncos, Bills. The Broncos just got in the playoffs and they get the Bills at 10 a.m. Well, that's actually on Sunday, but it's still an early game. Saturday's games are the Chargers, Texans at 1:30 p.m. Texans, Chargers. I'm surprised those two teams made the playoffs. I haven't really followed the Chargers nor the Texans. Two very good young quarterbacks. I'm going to go with the Texans. Sorry, Charger fans. And for the other Saturday game, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, that's a rivalry game in the wild card. Steelers go to Baltimore. I'm going Lamar Jackson. Lamar throws for 3 tubs and runs for 1. Pittsburgh has been reeling. They didn't look very good last week. So I think it's a wrap for them. But I do appreciate Russell Wilson's comeback story. It was inspirational. He got the monkey off his back. He was being talked down to in Denver. Sean Payton didn't respect him, talked to him like a rookie, got to Pittsburgh, got his life back. So it is about situation. It is about fit. And Russell Wilson might be there for a few more years before Justin Fields gets the reins. So, but I do have the Ravens winning that one by 2 tubs. AC2 said it's always Unk season. And I have to agree. The Queen likes my t-shirt because it's Long Beach State. Can't get mad. Long Beach State has always had fresh gear. I'm still hurt that Long Beach State canceled football back in 1992. Just around the time where it was time for me to go to college, Long Beach State no longer had football. When I saw Miami beat Long Beach State, I was going to go make that team better. I'm going to make Long Beach State better. We're going to beat Miami. Didn't happen that way. We did go to UCLA and did we beat Miami at the Rose Bowl. Rubio, showtime from being stuck on a tarmac. I appreciate him. He's traveling as he should. I'm seeing a lot of long snappers getting full rides out of the portal. Having a skill is so important. This is not the portal episode. We're going to do a portal episode probably the next dead period. and I'll probably have my son on at that time, and we'll talk about the real deal of portal mania. It is crazy right now, man. Not enough scholarships, too many kids. Broncos, Bills win easily. Josh Allen continues on his MVP run, even though I still believe Lamar Jackson's the MVP. Right next to him is Saquon Barkley, who takes on the Packers of Green Bay at 1:30 this Sunday at the Link. Sorry, Tiff. I know you're the biggest Packers fan. Eagles by 2 tubs. The Packers are missing key players in Watson, and I believe a couple of other guys are missing from their starting lineup. As long as Jalen Hurts starts and he's good to go, we win that game easily. And Commanders Bucks Sunday night at 5 p.m. That should be a great game. Baker Mayfield versus JD5. It's at Tampa Bay. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay. And I know I got a few cousins who are Commanders fans. Sorry, man. I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield. He has something to prove. Vikings versus the Rams here at SoFi here in LA. Why is it at 5 o'clock the same? Oh, that's Monday night. Monday night playoffs. You see what the NFL is doing? The NFL is not slick. They're trying to make as much money as possible. A Monday night playoff game. Vikings come to SoFi Stadium. That's going to be rocking. I got the Vikings beating the Rams. Sorry, Rams fans. And then the divisional games will be the following week, and then we'll come back and take a look at those matchups. I think they're determined by record matchups and head-to-head tiebreakers. Too much to figure out, but playoff football, it's for it all. Like it counts now. I was super upset about Saquon not getting a chance to go for the all-time leading season record yards from scrimmage, attempts, rushes, things like that, as Eric Dickerson still holds the record. Saquon was going to do it in less carries. However, the Super Bowl is the goal. Individual records are cool. They're nice. They last forever until someone breaks your record, and then you have to be second or third. I respect the decision. However, if the Eagles come out flat and some miraculous reason we lose in the first or second round, and Saquon doesn't have a record and we don't have a Super Bowl appearance, getting to the Super Bowl is hard enough. But to say, let's go ahead and preserve. Personally, I don't like sitting people for the entire game, even in preseason. I like for everybody to play a quarter. And living your life in fear of injury, I think that's kind of like counterproductive. I know you don't want to be the stupid coach who played your starters and get someone hurt. But I know that sitting out a week doesn't always keep everybody sharp. You have to get back to a rhythm, a timing. The Eagles' offense is based on timing. Even when the run game is flowing, it's because those blocks happen at the right time and Saquon's hitting a hole at the right moment. Jalen Hurts comes back. His short passing game is on time. Everything works. Goddard comes back. All that stuff works in like a dance. And that doesn't happen to the second half when you usually have a bye week. And then you have a bye week for the first round of the playoffs. You got to get back into some type of rhythm because practice is pretty much a walkthrough at this point in the season. You're not really running around hitting. You're not running around full speed. Everything is pretty much thud and jogging around and just trying to get the plays down pat, but the timing is going to be off. So hopefully it doesn't take us longer than 2 quarters to get back on rhythm. We have a veteran team. I expect us to be sharp. I don't expect us to be sharp that first quarter. It'll be a whole 15 minutes of rhythm and flow. It's a 2-step, getting ready for the bullets of a playoff game where everything counts. Tender love. Hey, it's all around us. Everywhere you look, there's some tender love. All right, so The Patriots fired Mayo, and the Raiders fired Antonio Pierce. 2 African-American coaches get fired in their first year as coaches. This is what John Thompson was talking about. And my wife and I talked about this the other day in the car. What we are tired of seeing is that we have to be perfect and make lemonade out of lemons. Look at that roster. Look at the Raiders roster. Look at the Patriots roster. Were they set up for success, or were they set up to hold a spot? I would be appreciative if you just told me I was interim. Don't give me the label of head coach if you're going to fire me in 1 year. I can't do my thing in 1 year. I can't change a culture in 1 year. That takes the course of 3 seasons. So I feel kind of bad for these 2 guys. Now, Antonio Pierce has a history, though, because he was the head coach at Long Beach Poly. And he did not do a good job, in my opinion, because he was not present. He just came to the games on Friday. He didn't coach during the week. Young people need to see you. They need to know who you are. They need to know your expectations. They need to have your character stamped on that identity of that team. And speaking of Long Beach Poly, they have a brand new head coach in Justin Quintuple of Lakewood High School. I think he's going to do a great job if they allow students to check in to Long Beach Poly. One of the reasons why I just chose to give up on the whole situation, and I've got a lot of messenger messages, and I appreciate the love that I should have applied. I should have been a candidate, but I've done that twice. So the next time I'm ever considered for that job, they'll have to just call me and tell me that they would like for me to do this. Otherwise, we're just messing around and playing the shuffle. I heard there were 16 candidates, and they went around the block and hired Coach U. They offered the job to Coach Pelham at Milliken, who did not apply. So that lets me know they can do whatever they want to do. All that school district, we have to fly the position, all that stuff is hogwash. They can do whatever they want to do. If you want me to take the job seriously, I'm going to need a certain number of enrolled positions where students who have permits from their home district who want to come and play football. Let's stop being fake up in here. Poly's a football school. Wilson is a volleyball school, baseball school. Milliken is becoming a football school, but they are a baseball and soccer school. When a kid comes from a local city, or a kid that even lives in Long Beach but can't get a permit from Browning or Cabrillo or North Long Beach and wants to play football for the powerhouse so they can have a chance to play at a high level, that we can get Long Beach Poly back to being Division I, let those kids in. Legacy kids, neighborhood kids, and kids with permits in hand. Why is there such a blockage? And I'm passionate about this because I've been through it. I know how it is. If it's going to be open enrollment, make it open enrollment. I don't understand all this. We're impacted. No, you're not, because there are kids who live on the other side of East Long Beach by Long Beach State who fill up the CIC and PACE program every single year. So miss me with that. I hope we are able to overcome the blockage from the school district and become at least a Division II school, let alone Division I open division school at some point in the past. There was not too long ago, we used to bash Mater Dei. We used to bash Bosco. Now it's not even close. We can't get the kids in school. So that's kind of what I despise about the situation. So I've separated myself from it. I hope for the best. I got my ears up. I rock my gear, and I go to the games when I can. But I have no hope in that roster being what it used to be when we had 15 linemen over 300 pounds and skill position guys for days. Those days are long gone, and you can't compete without numbers. So we'll see. Roop says, and he big time me in Vegas. Yeah, he did. Antonio Pierce big time me at the Super Bowl last year. All right, man, I'll come back for an interview. Yeah, okay. I'm busy today. And you sit down with Cam Newton. Big time me, Rue. I was like, man, get that guy out of here. It happens. But as far as them guys losing their jobs, I don't think it was fair. It's unrealistic expectations by these owners and GMs. I saw a few GMs lose their jobs. I think it was the Titans GM. And you speak about the Titans, who have the very first pick of the draft. So just a quick run through of a mock draft. Some experts have Cam Ward from Miami going first over Shedeur Sanders. That's still in the air to me. I don't know if Tennessee can bypass the publicity that Shedeur brings. Shedeur jerseys are going to sell out in 10 minutes. Whoever drafts him, those jerseys are going to sell out in 10 minutes. The mock drafts have the Cleveland Browns taking Travis Hunter at number 2. Cleveland Browns fans with Travis Hunter, I think they'll be very pleased. He's electric. He's one of the best players in the country, if not the best player in the country. And their game translating to NFL ball. We know he was the best player in college football. But for NFL, he's not going to play both ways. He won't be as valuable, but he'll be a first-day starter at receiver or corner, depending on where the team that drafts him puts him. It'll be in his contract, percentages of plays. Your starter at corner or your starter at receiver will spot play you at the other position. Number 3, they got Shedeur Sanders going to the New York Giants. I personally think it's going to switch. Cam Ward will go to the Giants. Shedeur will go to Tennessee. Number 4, the Patriots are going to take Will Campbell, a tackle out of LSU. Jacksonville is going to take Mason Graham, a juice big kid who went from Servite High School to Michigan and became the best defensive lineman in the country. Winning a national championship last year. Not too bad, Mr. Mason. Going to Jacksonville. The Raiders will be taking T-Mac, another Servite. Now, is Servite going to have 2 kids in the first 5 picks? Possibly the top 10 picks? T-Mac and Mason Graham were teammates at Servite. That's crazy. T-Mac out of Arizona is probably the best receiver in the draft. No weaknesses. His only downside is he doesn't like to lift weights. But he's strong enough, fast enough, big enough to do what he does versus any cornerback in the league. He's a lot like Puka Nacua from the Rams. The Jets are going to take Will Johnson out of Michigan, as they think Will Johnson and Sauce Gardner will be 2 pretty good corners on the outside for years to come. Carolina is going to take Abdul Carter, defensive end, edge rusher out of Penn State. That's not a bad choice right there. Always need pressure on the quarterback. The Saints take edge rusher Nick Skirton from Texas A&M. Again, edge rushers are tough to find. If you can find someone that can put pressure on the quarterback without blitzing, that's gold. The Bears are going to take tackle Kelvin Banks to get some help on that line to help the quarterback, Caleb Williams, not be sacked and under pressure so much. Going past the 10th pick, going to number 11, the Niners take edge rusher Jalen Walker out of Georgia. Again, our 3rd edge rusher, our 4th defensive end. Like last year, there was not a defensive player taken until UCLA's Latu was picked. So it's kind of hard these days. And at number 12, the Cowboys take the number 1 running back in the country, Ashton Genty, out of Boise State. I think that'd be a good spot for him because they got rid of Ezekiel Elliott, and the Cowboys always love a marquee back. Too early draft, but it's coming. And those are the top 12 prospects. And we'll see how it pans out. And you never know. People trade up. Things happen. Guys don't test well. A 4-3 guy runs a 4-6, and then all his draft stock plummets. A guy gets a DUI, like Jalen Carter got in trouble before his draft, and the Eagles lucked up and got the best defensive end or the best defensive lineman in a long time. He's now a Pro Bowler, and we got him for nothing. LaDon James is in here. Let's go Texas, he said. Cowboys better get Ashton. They have to. They got to have some type of shot in the arm. I don't think they move up to get Travis Hunter. I don't think they're going to get a quarterback. They still think Dak is the guy. They paid him. Even though we all know Shedeur Sanders fits the Cowboys. the Cowboys quarterback should be larger than life. And Shedeur Sanders will tell you, watch. Just watch. All right, college football, the Final Four is set. Texas, Ohio State, and Penn State, Notre Dame. This is tough, man, because Ohio State just beat Oregon like they weren't number one. And then you got Texas, who is just as good as Ohio State on paper. I think this one comes down to quarterback play. I like yours over the quarterback from Ohio State. I'm going to go with Texas. Sarkisian, my main man, the defensive coordinator down there is from Long Beach. And it's just, the rosters are loaded, man. It's Johnny Nansen calling defense, and he's been in the game a long time. I expect them to be ready. Ohio State and Skip, UCLA's destructor, Chip Kelly. You kind of have an idea where he's going with his scheme, and I just think Texas has the dudes to go ahead and dismantle that. And they have the dudes on their offense to pick apart that Ohio State secondary. Both teams have kids for going to the NFL, playing on Sundays. Now on the other side, again, I mentioned the two African-American head coaches, and James Franklin and the Notre Dame coach, Marcus Freeman. So that means there will be a black coach in the national championship game for the first time. And this transitions into my Tender Love report. When we celebrate African-American milestone, why is it? Let me put we got to put the sound on. We got to go. And I don't just want to say white America. It's just a generalization. But people that have commented on certain posts, 95% of them were white men. And they want to say, why do we have to say that they're black coaches? Why do we even have to say it? They're good coaches. Agreed. But this is a first. So it's a reminder of how far we've come. It should be something that you are proud of, because there once was a time where there were no black coaches. There were no black players at one point. So we've come a long way. We want there to be an even playing field where we can just call them good coaches, but we're far from it. We don't even have any black owners in the NFL. So I call tender love on all the sports people who are upset about that being a storyline for a huge football game. Notre Dame and its Catholic history has an African-American coach. Not that he's the first coach they've had. They had Ty Willingham. He did a good job, but he didn't win a championship. Marcus Freeman is the closest they've had in a long time. And he's a former Ohio State Buckeye. On the other side, James Franklin took a program that was tainted by the Sandusky mess and tarnished Joe Paterno's greatness. Nobody wanted to go to Penn State for about 5 years. It was Sandusky tainted. And you fast forward 10 years. What was it, 2015? When was Sandusky? Penn State and Nittany Lions are back. And they're probably the least left team as far as talent. But they're in the Big Four. And that's commendable. I love what James Franklin has brought. I think he's going to get a bunch of NFL offers. I think he should stay put. He's built a special product at Penn State. With that being said, I got Texas versus Notre Dame in the chip. And I got Texas winning it all. Going against the grain. I know Ohio State is picked to walk away with this. But I have a feeling that Texas, and their infinite amount of NIL money, Lamborghinis and all, they're too deep. They're 3 deep at each position with NFL guys, with NFL quarterback. and one of the smartest coaches in college football, and Steve Sarkisian, who's happened to be married to a sister, by the way. So there's some seasoning at the house, so he's not losing. The allegations of a player being with his wife and all that stuff's in the past. They are reconciled. They're happy. She's doing her thing. He's doing his thing. They complement each other. It's all love. So, hook 'em horns. I'm with you, LaDon James. Hook 'em horns. LaDon said, nah, we need a running back, O-line, and since we get healthy, we're good. Okay, everybody needs O-line. As you see, my Eagles have had one of the best O-lines for a couple of years, and it shows, and you see it in Saquon's success. You can't run for all them yards without the offensive line putting in major work. My other tenant love, I think, who sent me this video? Was it you, Rubio? I called it the tender tackle.
That is not a... Cleveland in the red zone. First down and 10. Quick pass, Judy again, and he is stuffed and slammed by Jordan Brooks. And a flag comes out. Wow. Mike McDaniel does not agree. Here's another look.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 20.
Wow.
So they gave this unnecessary roughness.
He didn't lift him, he just...
I don't know what to tell you. The defense's job is to get people on the ground. And the defensive back Branch, did what he was supposed to do. He wrapped up the receiver and slung him to the ground. His head didn't hit the ground. He didn't target him. He just swung him around. And the whistle may have blown prematurely because Judy was still trying to move forward when the contact happened. And as a defensive back, we can no longer spear. We can no longer aim for the chest. All we can do is wrap and pull people down. We can't even do the drop tackle now. We have to do tackles like this. I think every referee should wear a helmet and go through tackling drills to understand why you can't hear a whistle when you're hitting. When you hit somebody, your ears are muffled and all you can hear is the inner workings of your helmet. So what do you expect the player to do when he's in motion to make a tackle? Stop motion? This is worse than a late slide by a quarterback. You can't expect somebody running full speed to stop cold turkey. We're coming to make a play. We've lowered our pad level to launch and make a tackle. Not launch and spear, but launch your shoulder pads forward so you can make an aggressive tackle to make sure they don't go further any more yards, to make any more, ground. So I don't understand what they want defensive players to do. They got to take that one back. LaDon James said the playing field is lopsided, so we got to acknowledge their accomplishments. And referring to African Americans, the first of whatever it might be. In this case, first coach. But I'm tripping off of why they're triggered and so mad about it. Like, just say that's pretty cool. Hopefully one day we won't even have to label them as black coaches. I agree with that statement. But you don't have to come off as, why we always got to talk about race, man. Because we have to talk about race because race is part of the story. It's part of history. It's part of who we are. We gotta get beyond this stuff. So you have to celebrate it so it's not overlooked. When you big time people, at some point, you too will be big time. Thanks for the comment, Raiders. What comes around goes around. Don't ever big time my guy AC. That's right, Poncho. Coach Perry just speaking. I don't care who you are. My guy Antonio got beside himself. And you do. And that's par for the course. And dudes do get a little bit big-headed when they get a little fame. And not too long after that fame comes the fall, man. It's in the word. Pride comes before the fall. I always try to treat everybody with love and respect, from the janitor to the CEO. You never know who people might be, who they are connected to. Denzel Snipes in here, Longhorns Nation. How many Texas fans I got in here? We're not even Texas fans. We're just picking the Texans. The Texas Longhorns, I should say. There I go, get on this Longhorns bandwagon. We welcome you, and Steve got a fine wife. It's a bandwagon. I don't have a horse in this fight. The Final Four, 4 good teams. The only school I consider going to was Penn State. So I would have been stuck in that Sandusky. Had I gone to Penn State, I would have knocked Sandusky upside his head if I saw him in the bathroom with some kids. Ain't no way I can walk by the shower and see this grown man with some kids from the camp. And I was like, who's going to keep their mouth closed on that one? Shame on all y'all. Denzel said, if we can get our running game going versus Ohio State, we got a real shot. See, that kind of take, Denzel, makes me think there's some doubt. I think Ohio State just hit Oregon in the mouth and Oregon wasn't ready. It's very hard to beat the same team twice in the same season. I think that's what Oregon had going against them, is that confidence. It happens all the time, man. You beat a team the first time, and the second time you kind of underprepare. You script 20 plays. They script 20 plays. Like they have some stuff drawn up, ready for the rematch. And you thought what you did the first time around was going to work. But I hear what you're saying. That run game is going to be so important early. And not having a 3-and-out the first 2 series. They're going to have to get a drive going and get that field position started. And then their playmakers can make plays when they get ball past the 50. We had Thurman Thomas on one of our shows earlier tonight. He says Saquon should have played and gone for the record. Like I said, I would have gave him a half. But that means you got to play Lane Johnson. You got to play all them guys. And the risk of 6 people, because you didn't even have to play Jalen Hurts. You could have played one of those backups that were balling, but you would have to play all 5 linemen to get the record, because that's how Saquon has been able to get through the season healthy, is the blocking of the O-line. The receivers blocking really helps, but that's second level. Saquon can handle that. It's in them trenches where I'm more nervous about his limbs, his knees, his ankles, his head, things like that. But we got this far playing the way we played. What's going to be different the last game? The Giants weren't trying to hurt him. The Giants weren't even trying to be out there. The Giants kind of laid it down so they can keep their 3rd pick. Had they won the game, they would be down, number 8 or 9th pick? So I would have played too, because that's history. And you don't get very many opportunities to make your mark in history. Now, is he hoping that it happens next year? We all know it's very difficult for a running back to do that twice. If he does it again, I think if Saquon rushes for 2,000 yards again, I think he jumps up to top 5 all time. If he breaks Eric Dickerson's record the year after he didn't go for it, I think he's right there at Barry Sanders. And Barry Sanders is my running back GOAT. You might have Jim Brown. You might have O.J. Simpson. You might have Eric Dickerson. You might even have Emmitt Smith, who's the leading rusher in NFL history, but nobody has him as their GOAT. It's tough you're seeing teams do it all the time. The Buccaneers helped Mike Evans get the 1,000 yards. He only needed 6 yards. Got his 6 yards. Now, Jerry Jones kind of salty. Was it Jerry Jones who pulled out Cooper Rush before he got his bonus? Shady, man. It happens all the time. I was playing for the Saints, and Leroy Glover had 9 sacks. If he got 10 sacks, he gets $1 million. They pulled him out on pass downs. Dirty, man. Just dirty. If they're throwing flags on that, then put flags on them. Them ninjas need to be wearing flags if that is a flag. I'm with you, man. They will always be labeled as black coaches. You know what time it is. You would hope that Dr. King's dream would be true by now, that people would not be judged by the color of their skin, but instead the content of their character. And in this case, the ability to coach, quarterback, or own a team. Doesn't matter what color you are, do you have the goods? That's what it should be. We're almost there, not quite there. But we gotta keep talking about it so it becomes a thing of the past. It should not be the very first at this point. 2025? How long has college football been around? Ever. How many kids play? Millions. How many coaches coach? Thousands. No way Texas beats Ohio State. Ohio State will win this game by two tubs, and Texas should have lost to Arizona State. Arizona State was robbed. I will give you that. But all you need is a little scare to get to act right. We'll see. AC2 says Saquon will break it next year. All right. We shall see. I'm okay with that prediction. Am I going to bet on it? Nah. Skip couldn't even pay 1.5 for some whom his wife should have been embarrassed. Her husband is that lame. All right. So jumping ahead. Skip Bayless, as Shannon Sharp says, Skip, and Joy Taylor were both named in a lawsuit to Fox Sports from a former hairstylist. I didn't know the particulars, but I do know it's involving Skip Bayless and some inappropriate advances. One being a $1.5 million offer to be with the hairstylist. The hairstylist names Joy Taylor because she's jaded because they were once friends and she did not support her allegations towards a CAO or a high-standing person with the FS1 Undisputed show. So it's a messy situation. There probably will be a settlement, but it's going around. Joy Taylor's getting dragged by everybody on X. Skip Bayless has to deal with his wife asking him, is this true? All this stuff is involving consenting adults, and one adult was not consenting, and she's coming forth saying Fox Sports has a very bad work environment where there's sexual harassment going on and racism and inappropriate comments and all this stuff. And it's becoming commonplace at these major networks. This is not the first time that something like this has happened. As I was reading the details on it, it reminds me of something that happened in 2015. The same thing happened at NFL Network. Remember? Jamie Cantor was fired from the NFL Network for what she was claiming was happening at NFL Network. She says she was text messaged deep, personal, invasive questions. And she's received explicit text from Weinberger, Donovan McNabb, Ike Taylor, and Evans. So they actually have proof. Text messages. The problem with Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor, it's her word versus theirs. So where's your proof that any of this happened? And it's ridiculous to think $1.5 million were offered for anyone to spend one night with one person. It just sounds ludicrous. And the fact that her and Joy Taylor were best friends and they no longer are, and she brings up that she's been sleeping around the network. And now it's the rumors that she slept with everybody on the show. We don't know what's true. All we know is that what's done in the dark will eventually come to the light. But these were all adults. Even if they were married, there's no law. There's no crime in adultery. It's just personal anguish, personal guilt, and public, guilt, public, the public opinion is going to say, hey, she slept her way to the top. They're going to say Skip was using his money and his power to do whatever he wanted around the TV station or whatever is going on. At the end of the day, this is about money. And the plaintiff is going to get a chunk to make this go away. Joy Taylor was back on TV. A matter of fact, they said Fox PR people are on it, and they actually had her dressed down today to kind of ease the rumorville that she's used her assets to get to where she wants to be in life. Isn't that America? Like, why are we surprised that she used her assets to get ahead? I think that is what most people do. Not that it's right, but how high and mighty are we? So somebody said wardrobe change. So as you can see, Joy Taylor uses what she has to get what she wants. Today, she covered all that up. That's just a PR move that anybody would make. So don't give them any more evidence to what they are accusing you of. This is Jason Taylor's sister. So it's not like she was a nobody when she got on. Yes, she was a bartender. Yes, she was trying to get on. But who isn't? I was working at Fox Sports 1 right before all this stuff started happening with all the other allegations towards some of the sports athletes being inappropriate at the office. It's a hierarchy. It's a lot of work husband, work wife situations going on. Clarissa Thompson came out and said how open she was in her conversations with people at the office, and she wasn't really hit too hard for her involvement in those conversations, because she's the woman, and if she's aggressive with hers and she's open with hers, it's acceptable. But when the guys do it, it's not. So the situation is messy, and Joy Taylor's getting drugged more than Skip Bayless. Nobody believes Skip Bayless's story. It's ridiculous. But on the other hand, is it easy to believe that Joy Taylor may have gone out with Sam Acho or Charles Dixon, the manager of FS1's Undisputed Show? Very possible. Do I care a whole lot? Not so much. It just happens to be trending right now. But again, it's all about money. She's going to get a good settlement, and I'm not going to disclose how much it is, but it's going to happen. LaDon James said, I think this is just the start of a few more and will come out against Fox. Oh, yeah. If she gets paid, best believe more are coming, because it's pay me season. Women been slipping their way up the ladder for ages. It's the American way. We all know boom boom runs the world. I think it was a Beyonce song. Who run the world? Girls. And that's at the end of the day. They get what they want. Quintuple double alert. Quintuple double alert. Am I saying that right? Quintuple? Again. Kira Reynolds, 14 points, 18 rebounds, 12 assists, 11 steals, and 10 blocks. That's a Wilt Chamberlain stat line without the 50 points. And I began to research. Coach Perry, you appreciate this. Women's basketball, Jimmy Mack, you appreciate this. Erica Gomez Taylor, you appreciate this. Women's hoops is more exciting today than the men's hoops in college basketball. This young lady will be a star at the college level because she reminds you of Angel Reese. I was like, well, who she's playing against and how does she play? I'm wondering. 14 points is not a lot of points, but 18 rebounds is pretty good. And 12 assists is really good. 11 steals is incredible. So then I had to go find some footage so we can kind of make an idea how good she might be against good talent. So I'm looking at her game. She's close to the basket. She handles the ball. She sees the court. She's tall. She does not get off the ground very much. She stays on the ground, so she won't be an injury person. She'll be pretty healthy her whole career. She's effortless. She's just like Angel Reese. She's kind of pretty. Like, she has a look. Long hair. She has some swag. Got her, her long socks, so she can shoot the three. She's tall. So, and she got a few things in her bag. Some of the stuff is ugly, but most of it was pretty standard, like fundamentally sound. I think she's going to be the next phenom in college basketball. If you want to have a hustler, like, everybody can't be Caitlin Clark and shoot the three, or Hannah Hidalgo, or Paige Beckers, or Juju Watkins, who have these professional NBA player style games. But if you model yourself after a very successful college player like Angel Reese, I think you'll have a winner on your hands. So go ahead. Now, don't forget, not too long ago, there was another quintuple. I want to say it was last year, when Kiana Christmas had 11 points, 20 rebounds, 11 assists, 10 steals, and 10 blocks. So these young ladies are getting to a point where they are filling up the stat sheet. Now, when I get real skeptical when it's 20 on the dot or 10 on the dot and two of the categories are 10s, that sounds like they were spoon feeding those stats. You just need one more, Kiana. One more rebound. We'll let them have it, though. It's a still amazing thing to accomplish. And Elaine played. She ref. I want to say you coached too, Queen Elaine. The women's game has come a long way, but it's been good a long time. We just haven't been paying attention as a society. So thank you, Angel Reese. Thank you, Caitlin Clark, for being the spokespersons. Not that you were the first ever Magic Bird type players. It's just the first time the media put you guys out there. She reminds me of my beautiful college basketball daughter. Yes, sir. LaDon's daughter is a hooper. Check her out. Shoot out the information so we can follow her, LaDon. All right, so got a few minutes left. I promise to get out of here at a certain time. It never happens like that. I try my best, man. Draymond Green's highlight tape is diabolical, man. I don't know, with this highlight tape, he can get in the Hall of Fame. This man is dangerous. To say it the nicest way I can say it. This dude is out here living his football dreams. He's kicking people, clotheslining people. He is running full speed and tackling people, falling on people, elbowing, punching his own teammates. He is a menace. And he does it versus guys he knows that won't fight back. He almost made LeBron James lose 2 eyeballs. He hit him in the eye on multiple occasions. I want to see Draymond do this to somebody that's going to hit him back. I want to see Draymond do this to Boogie Cousins. I want to see Draymond do this to Anthony Edwards. He's a bully, man, in every sense of the word. And I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, man. I just think his game was very basic and very suspect, and he would not be in the league past 5 years if he was not on the Golden State Warriors. That's just my opinion, man. Sweet brother Noomsy's in here. He's finally in here. Poncho says, I'll watch a women's college basketball game before I watch a men's college game. I can't name you 10 men's players in college today. I can't wait to see SC versus UCLA. Man, you imagine Kiki versus Juju and Betts versus the new young lady at USC. I forget her name. They got a big girl too. It's gonna be a battle of the Titans, man. I'm gonna have to peep one of those games myself. I'm probably have to go to the one at Pauley Pavilion. I gotta do my homeschool situation. I gotta go home. Elaine said Draymond got demons. He plays like a demon. Is Draymond a Hall of Famer? Not to me. I don't. If Draymond gets in, then Robert Horry should get in. If Draymond gets in, Robert Horry better get in. We're talking about rings, being a contributor. A very valuable contributor is Draymond Green. He was a very valuable player on the championship dynasty team. But so was Klay Thompson. Is Klay Thompson a Hall of Famer? He was just as important as Draymond in those championships. That's a great question. It's up for debate. Green needs to get in a real fight with somebody that will actually fight him. If he gets in a real scrap and he wins, Hall of Fame status. He's a system player. Rodman was the same player in every system. Draymond retiring with or before Steph. So we're going to put Draymond in Rodman category. He wants to go down as the best defender of all time. I don't see it. He's a disruptor. He's good, but there are a lot of good disruptors. I just want one person to drop Draymond. You got to have to go to the game yourself, Mike, and do it yourself. Or you and LaDon go fight on Crenshaw, and then one of y'all go up there and fight Draymond after that. USC going to whoop UCLA both games. $2 bet. $2 bet. LaDon, send me your Cash App, and I'll send you mine. $2 bet. UCLA sweeps USC. We too big inside. Robert Horry is on the ballot. That means, okay, we'll see. Because if they let Michael Cooper in, Robert Horry got to get in. That's how I feel about. That's how he feels about Mike Staff. They got an inner battle going on. Big Shot Bob should get in. Should. You do Apple Pay? Let's do it. $2 bet, man. UCLA sweeps SC. LaDon said SC sweeps UCLA. I like it. Sports Flix, man. If you have not watched the Giannis documentary, it's a tearjerker, man. Giannis got me again. I'm not sure if I got the slate for it, but on Amazon Prime, there's a documentary with Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it's powerful, man. The things that they had to go through for him to make it are nothing short of miraculous. So if you like sports docs like I like them, The Marvelous Journey with Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it does describe how Thanasis was actually pretty good back in the day. It's just he been getting a bad rap in the States because he is pretty trash when it comes to playing today for the Bucks, and now he's no longer playing. But when he was a man, he was a man. But then he got complacent. He's no longer hungry. But the documentary was awesome, man. Almost cried a little bit. LaDon Williams don't want to see me. No amateur want to see me. I've been dropping people since 1988. Mike, you weren't even that old in 88. If I was only 14 in 88, that means you were 12, 11. Because I'm about to be 51 in a couple of days. And I know you're a lot younger than me, Mike. How old were you knocking dudes out? When you were 10? Sweet Brother Dempsey, you ran from me when I invited you to meet up in South Central last week. We're going to have to bring a camera out there and do a show. Mike, Sweet Brother Dempsey, Stafford versus LaDon James Williams. We're going to fight at the formerly Marathon store owned by Nipsey Hussle. They're going to scrap right there on the corner. Giannis has a doc now. I love that. I love the movie. The movie had me crying too. The documentary is just like the movie, man. The stories that they tell, they've been through a lot, man. Shout out to the Antetokounmpos. Greek has a great story. Yeah, he does. It keeps me buying his sneakers. His story is just powerful, man. So now we're going to lie. I called you out and asked for the address. KC Mark can tell the truth on that. That's hilarious, man. All right. I think that's about it, man. Unk season or auntie season. Now, auntie season, real quick. I'm trying to find some auntie season candidates. This was the one that I found. I don't like to promote injuries and nothing like that. But I do like to point out things that we probably shouldn't do. Aunties, I know you used to be athletic and you probably were very good in like Chinese jump rope and tetherball, hopscotch, and you probably was the best cheerleader on the football squad. You was even good on the monkey bars at school. But when you get to be 45, 50, you forget how much athletic ability you do or do not have. I couldn't even really laugh at sister, but she knew that she had no business. So we're gonna hold off on auntie season, because if it's gonna be dangerous, we can't outright have a whole season for aunties doing crazy stuff if they're gonna be getting injured and they gotta call the paramedics and things like that. So one more time for the Gipper, as my kids laugh when I say that. For my old heads, you know exactly what I'm talking about. One time for the Gipper is Unk season. I got 2 for 1. 2 Unks, 1 cart. Bumping that whip appeal on the go-go cart. Somebody get these Unks. Who's Unks rolling through Walmart on a go-go cart playing Babyface whip appeal? That's just, I mean, hide your aunties, hide your grandmas. These dudes are on a mission. They're not there shopping. They are in there seeking who they may devour. That is just diabolical, man. I don't know what's going on. It's it's crazy out there in these streets. And these brothers who have went over the hill, hit midlife crisis, got some money in their pocket, so they're going to act up. That's why Unk season is gone for so long. Yes, ouch. An alternate, I'll alternate auntie season and Unk season. All right. I want to do baby season because there's babies out here wilding out too now. LaDon James said them old ladies, them old aunties better remember they done put on some weight and their cheerleading weight is gone. They are no longer their cheerleader weight. Actually, that is absolutely correct. Baby season is on the rise. And if you haven't seen The Baby Who Loves Kendrick Lamar, this is one to end on. This little baby right here. This little baby gets it in. Pop up. Here you come. There you go. Hit that beat, little man. Yeah. Oh, what? Yep. I love this little boy. Get it. Put your hands. There you go. Get your hands going. There you go. And it, I don't know. It's a future blood. You know, already a little Pyru treetop. Oh, bounty hunter, SOS. Get it, man. Get it. All right, man. That's my show. Get it, man. Get it. Get it, man. Get it. Get out the crib. There's something in the music, man. I think it's something in the music that we can't hear as adults that the kids can hear. Because he ain't the only one. There's several babies out there doing that. Oh, man. He said it's a future treetop Pyru. Yo, it's the hands. Ready? He learned that? It's in him. It's scary how these little COVID babies are grown. I could have been on my show. I fell in the park on. You fell in the park? The parking lot. Oh man, we can't be falling down. We are too far up in age to fall down. At this point, you can break a hip. All right, man, that's my show. I really appreciate everybody that tunes in every week. It's a new year, season 5, episode 1, which will be 181 total. And I'm really happy to be still doing this. We'll take it to new heights this year with your support. Mike said, possessed by the spirit of hip hop. Music 360, RIP, Pastor Tom Washington. Absolutely. We learned about this many years ago. The music has spirits. You wonder why a song stays in your mind all day? There's something behind that. Why does a baby take to certain songs and not others? There's something behind that. That's why you should be very selective what you listen to, because the music does have spirits. But this baby makes me smile every time seeing him dance. So there's something good in that too. All right, man. I appreciate you guys. LaDon James, appreciate you. Sweet Brother Noomsy, Queenie Lane, Rubio. Appreciate all y'all, man. You gotta watch that DVD again. You actually don't. You know, your spirit will tell you when something's not good. It will tell you immediately. All right, man. I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate AC2 for stopping through. Denzel, Coach Perry. Who else came through earlier? D-Mac Phi. Everybody. John Branch. OG. JB in there. I'll see y'all next week. Appreciate you tuning in. AC Sports Live, episode 1, season 5. I'm out.